BMW E46 S62 V8 swap. In today's video, we'll be using the laptop to read and correct errors within the modules of the car following the V8 swap. So yeah, let's do it. Oh, hey there. Did you miss me? How do I look in the reflection of the laptop screen? Do I appear pretty? I could use the reassurance, you know. Let's get to work here. Let's get some stuff done. Today, my goal is to turn off this DSC warning light and to also get this brake pad warning off. It should be simple enough to solve, so let's do it. So my car being a 2000 model year, there is this round diagnostic port in the engine bay right here. It's a 20 round pin. This port right here allows me to both diagnose and code certain modules, basically all of the ones throughout the car, while the in-cabin diagnostic port only works with the DME or ECU. So I need to use this one for what I'm currently trying to do. Okay, so we're going to pull the trouble codes from the DSC ABS module to see what it's saying, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm using INPA here to diagnose the trouble codes real quick. E46 is F2, right there. Chassis, ASC DSC, so this should be the right one. There we go. Language variants do not match, that's normal to see that. Error memory, F4, F1 to read it. It says there's currently one trouble code in here. So it says CAN timeout EGS. I know exactly what that means. That is because this car does not have an EGS. It is a manual transmission. All the automatics have an EGS. So it's looking for a response from the EGS module. So all I have to do is hop onto a different program, recode this to my car so it realizes that it has a manual transmission. Okay, so now that we know the problem, I'm going to open up a program called NCS Expert, and I'm going to code my DSC module. It's pretty easy. I'm going to go to File, Load Profile, and then I will choose one of these. Usually this one right here works, Expert and Modus, or however you say that. Okay. And then we're going to hit VIN. We're going to hit F1, VIN, ZSC, all that stuff. And then go to F3, hit that. I'm going to select E46. Okay. And then you're going to select, usually the first one works. Sometimes EWS needs to be used. You'll know what I'm talking about here in a second. So I'm just going to try AKMB, hit OK, and it should pull information right away from the car, or try to. Okay, so it looks like that one isn't very happy. Try a different. We'll try EWS. There we go. Whichever one gives you the most amount of numbers usually works. So that should be okay. Then I'm going to hit back down here, and then it says get coded, and now it's allowing me to code all these modules. Now we're going to hit F4, process ECU. Doing that will allow us to select what module to code. So I'm going to hit DSC. Okay, and you want to make sure it's yep, right there, DSC MK20. All looks good. Going to hit OK, and make sure that the job name says that. Hit F3 for execute job, and this should code the DSC module. There we go, coding ended. So now we can see, oh, it just made also, listen. You hear that? Tipping and tapping? That's the module doing things. Look at that. The light is already off. Heck yeah. We'll tap the DSC button and it should come back on. Yes, it worked. Bam. Now, whenever I tap this button, I can audibly hear the DSC module clicking out there. Now, just for reference, not every car is going to make that clicking sound every time the button is pressed. This one also doesn't do it every single time. It seems to be like a timed kind of thing. After so long, it quits clicking up here, but the function still works in the cabin. Now, this light right here, that is the brake pad warning light. That is a very simple 2-wire circuit. It monitors 2 wheels, the front driver, and it should be the rear passenger. I need to check those out, make sure the wires are okay, because now we know this is not related to the DSC. Oh, my car is so dirty, bro. My car is so dirty, bro. My poor car is so dirty because it's currently raining outside, as I'm sure you can hear. Okay, so right in here, behind this box, we have two plugs. This black one here is for the brake pad level sensor, and this one here is for the wheel speed sensor. I'm going to pull this one out and check it. Yeah, so looks like it's still plugged in okay. I think it's not fully seated. I swear, if that was the only issue I had, then I'll be very happy. That very well could have been the problem. Let's put this back in, like that. Looks like it's still turned on. Let's give it a couple seconds here, because sometimes those circuits, they take a few seconds to actually read down there. Oh, there it went. Yeah, always be patient, because these cars, they take a while. The same thing with the windshield washer reservoir, and as you see in that light, those simple 2-wire low voltage sensors, they take a little bit of time to communicate to the gauge cluster. These two lights right here, they're not lit up, but you can still see them. The top one is the windshield washer reservoir, and the bottom one is your coolant reservoir. On your E46, if those lights are turned on, and then you add fluid, give them a few seconds. They will eventually turn off, typically. Because as you just seen, the same thing with that brake pad warning level, it took a few seconds for it to actually communicate and realize that they're good. So, there you go. Also, if you noticed, this wire goes to nothing. You see that? That is because I cut off the sensor and simply spliced the two wires together and then weatherproof them. If you're wondering why I did it like that, that is because this modification is not permanent. I can simply unplug this and then go back to a working sensor. You could cut the whole plug off and then splice down in here to make it a permanent solution. I wanted to keep it more of a reversible thing. So that is why you see that going to nothing up here. Okay, so as far as the rest of these warning lights here, such as the service engine soon, you can see it down in there, that is normal to be on whenever the key is on position 2, engine not running, which the car currently is. So it being on right now is totally normal. Same with those two up there, the battery and the red oil level, totally normal with the engine not running and position 2 on the key. Now, whenever the engine is running, that light does stay on, the service engine soon. That is because there are certain sensors that I'm not using for this engine swap into this car. So I will have to tune the DME or ECU to turn off the diagnostic tables for those certain sensors, and then that will go out with the engine running. You can also see we have some bulb out warnings here. The two front headlights, that is because the headlights in the car currently are track headlights. There are no high beams. They are induction headlights. And then you can see the door open symbol. That is because, obviously, because of that, the door is open. That is all for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you found it to be useful, knowledgeable, or simply fun to watch, please consider subscribing to the channel, as I highly appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch you later. Be safe out there. See you later. Enjoy your night, day, wherever you're from. See you later, alligator. Bye. Bye. No, you can't come with me. I'll see you later now. Bye. I got fucking jack stands out the wazoo. What do you want from me?